All right, here we are. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. Allison and Dodie, Allie and Dodie here, ready to help you with your holiday stress. It's already begun, aftermath, right now, because
Right.
we just came from Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh my gosh, how was your Thanksgiving, Allison?
You know what? I had a really, I had a great Thanksgiving this year. We haven't gotten together with my mom's side of the family. We had my aunt passed away about 3 years ago, and she was kind of our matriarch, and we really kind of got a little bit lost. And so Thanksgiving was the first time that we had gotten together at her house with everybody in 3 years. So it was amazing. I had a great Thanksgiving.
Yes. Was that in Lansing?
It was in Onstead.
Okay, Onstead. Okay, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow, you're
Yeah.
in the
So,
motherland.
pardon me?
You were in the motherland.
Oh, yeah. Real close.
Mm-hmm.
How
So
was yours?
definitely. Good, good. A little drama as always, but not from my side of the family this year. So, so it was good though. Thank you for asking.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? One of the number one things I'm thankful for is, that I think we take driving for granted and arriving places safely. And, to come all the way from Orange County, California is a long state, all the way to Northern Cal, 10 hours there, 10 hours back, and to make it safely with no hitches. I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
But I'm also super thankful for what a great example you are to our audience, because you listened to your body yesterday. And hey, I wasn't listening. But I was not feeling as well. But good for you, because we had a little migraine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And I do listen to my body a lot. Sometimes it just, screams at me because I have been ignoring the signs. So usually a migraine is, it's a sign that I need to slow down, and maybe, not so many things in my life. Otherwise my body will just shut it down for me. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Your body will do that. If you don't listen to it, your body will do that in many different ways. So let's go straight into our 10 rules on how to get through this holiday season with less stress and less bloat. And I'm going to let you start, since it goes right with what you were doing yesterday, and good for you.
Yes. So I want you to understand that stress, stress is terrible. Stress is terrible on all of us. But managing your time during the holiday season is a big one. And I'm going to say this to you, and I'm going to say it to those like all the way in the back. I'm like going to scream it to you in the back. So like, it's okay to say no to plans that don't fit into your schedule. You don't have to bend over backwards to make everything work for everybody. And here's the big one. It's okay to say no to plans that don't make you feel good. That is including family. I know I may have blown your mind a little bit, but it's okay.
Agreed, 100%. Love that. I love that. And I learned that a lot this summer when I went on my 144 days of sobriety. Like, hey, this isn't working in my plan right now. And I love just like taking care of myself at home. And it was a great growing experience. So saying no, like that's what we learned as children, say no to drugs. Like you can say no to things that aren't healthy for you.
Right. Or people. Situations. Drama is toxic. Sometimes our family dynamics are really toxic. So, take care of yourself.
You know what? I'm going to go with that. And rule number 2, I'm popping this in here as a new one. Say no to food that you don't want that's being pushed on you. So, so the show you and I listened to, I disagree. They were talking about how you should eat that food that you don't want to eat. And I am so anti that. I tell my clients, no, you don't have to. Maybe take a little bite, but no, you do not have to eat that whole thing, okay? Maybe play with it a little bit. I know they say don't play with your food as a child, but you can spread it on the plate to make it, hide it under some things.
Well, and let's be honest, I'm not responsible for other people's, like, how they feel about me not taking something that they, if I'm doing something that's healthy for me, then if they get offended, then that is, that's really on them. It has nothing to do with me.
Absolutely.
So,
100%. I do think, like, if you're following a plan, weight loss or whatever during this season, and someone brings you cookies, having a bite right in front of them, if you do want to
Right.
show your appreciation, I'm good with that. Like, but don't scarf down the whole, plate after the person leaves. That's not an excuse.
Wait, what? You don't do that?
I know we all make excuses. I do it myself. So like that. And if it's something you don't like, or, then just a little courtesy bite, but no, you never force yourself to eat. I am so anti that. And it's fine throwing food away. You feel like it's going to waste. Well, it's going to be waste in the trash. It's going to be waste on your body as fat that you have to lug around.
Right.
So yeah, don't be afraid to say no to food that you aren't on your plan, aren't on your goals. Or save it for a rainy day. Shoot, you should look at my freezer. I got some birthday cake cupcakes in there still. I got Valentine's candy from last year. I got Halloween. I got Peeps for real. I have Easter Peeps. Like, I wait until I'm in the mood. And I do give myself a treat day every week, but those Peeps just haven't been cracked open yet because they're not my favorite thing. So yeah, say no. Thanks.
Yep. Agreed.
Okay. Rule number 3.
Let's see. I have be realistic. I think social media portrays, we all try to put our best face forward on social media, right? Especially if we are running a business, or we're in the public, those types of things. But you know what? Not realistic, right? All the time. Social media is not realistic all the time. Hallmark movies, definitely not realistic. Commercials, all these things that come on this time of year that kind of tell us that we're, if our family get-togethers aren't this picture perfect thing, then we're less than, and it's just not realistic. All families have stuff. It may not ever be realistic for you to have a peaceful Christmas with your family. I mean, that just may be how it is, so, be kind to yourself, and give yourself some grace that, like, none of that is real. You don't have to live up to that.
Absolutely. I love that. I can speak, I know my family look like we are perfect outside, but we are definitely not perfect either,
Sure.
But we love each other so much, and, do our own therapy to work on our things. So I love that one. Let's also be realistic. Next rule here from the dietitian on eating. Okay. So on Thanksgiving Day that passed, on Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, whatever holiday you celebrate, it's okay to make it your treat day, okay? But what do you do with all those Thanksgiving leftovers that might still be in your fridge? We're not going crazy with our plate, maybe pumpkin pie every day, and, lots of stuffing, lots of mashed potatoes. We're going to be realistic. Yes, we can have those treat foods, but we're going to be realistic in our portions. So I brought a plate. I've been posting this a lot as well. So I said the perfect Thanksgiving Day plate, but I didn't expect you to really do that on Thanksgiving. You can do what you want. It's a treat day. But the days after, when you do, how do you eat those leftovers and still be healthy? You do half of your plate. Half of your plate is the vegetables. So like the salad, even some coleslaw on top. And then a quarter of your plate would be your protein, your turkey, and then a quarter of your plate can be the mashed potatoes, the stuffing, whatever. It's okay to still eat that food. It was good. You didn't want to let it go to waste. I get that. I hate wasting food. But it's just in little bits. You know, half of your plate should be vegetables, asparagus, the green beans, whatever. That's how to be realistic with your leftovers. This you can take when you go to parties too. The parties are going to start coming this weekend, I believe. And so, you know, when you go to the parties, you'll get a lot of credettes, the vegetables on your plate, some shrimp, you know, whatever, maybe some deli meats if they have it, you know, on a charcuterie board, and then maybe some cheeses, and then, you know, have whatever carb you choose. You don't have to eliminate carbs, but, you know, put it here as your crackers or whatever. Or if you want to have cookies as your carb, that can be the quarter of the plate too. It's okay to have a dessert. Make that your carb. So balance, moderation. We don't go crazy hog wild until Christmas Day, where you can go a little crazier, but just still, you know, listen to your body as number one.
Right. Well, and yes, and we kind of keep going back to this, you know, what are we on? 5? This is 5 now?
Yes.
So like
Yes.
accept your needs, right? Like you are different than anybody else. So accept your needs, accept your limitations. I have some really weird limitations. I do. I have a really hard time with, it's almost a sensory overload with sound, like an auditory. I get really overwhelmed with a lot of sound. And so that is a limitation that I live with. So, you know, accept your limitations, know what the triggers are going to be so that you can not be as stressed about them when they happen. You know,
I love that. That is so good too. And that's something else I'd say that I discovered during my summer of sobriety, like noticing what my triggers were too, and just being more self-aware and accepting myself. We're not robots.
No, we're not. And you know, you don't have to explain yourself to anybody really, but you know, a lot of times I found myself always feeling bad, like removing myself from a situation just because I was really overstimulated. But telling somebody, you know, I just need a couple minutes because like this is just a lot for me. A lot of my friends know that now. They don't get offended if I'm like, yep, gotta go outside for a few minutes, you know. Just be you. Be you, be weird, be awesome, be everything, you know?
That is the best. Absolutely. I love it. Okay, and speaking of that, I swear we do work together like peas and carrots.
Yes, we do.
So on those moments when you need to maybe step outside, maybe take a walk. So rule number here 6 is that if you, I swear, take a walk every day during this season, from now until January 6th, the last day of Christmas, 20 minutes at least every day, I think you will definitely have less bloat. I'm pretty positive you will have less bloat. You might not even gain weight. If you sincerely do that 6 days a week, take one day off, Sunday. If you want to go, you can. If you don't. And just 20 minutes, an hour max. I suggest doing it before breakfast while you're still fasting from your sleep, and then your body's going to be burning the fat and the calories from last night first before you put other calories in. It's the first thing I swore to JP, like, okay, we just had our birthday, and we're like, oh. So we have been really good, you know, even this morning to get ready for our thing. I only had a half hour. I tried to do an hour. I got on the bike for a half hour and I listened to my favorite tunes and I watched ESPN. And that makes me happy. So if you can do that every day, a walk is not hard. It's great for you. Bodybuilders actually walk. We don't run because we don't want to burn all that muscle. Running sometimes too much. So walking every day for 20 minutes, rule number 6 on how to prevent bloat during the holiday season. All
Yeah,
right.
if you have a dog, take your dog for a walk. It'll help
Yeah.
them stay healthy too. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I have 3 now. I have 3 Great Danes now.
Goodness.
That's a whole different discussion. Okay. So maybe this should be for me. Set boundaries. Clearly, I have no boundaries for Great Danes. Bring them on to me. But you know what? It's setting boundaries is hard. Keeping your boundaries is harder. So, you know, don't let the holiday season be any different. Your boundaries should not be any different during the holiday season. Don't let that nostalgia or don't let anybody tell you any different. If those are your boundaries, if they're crossed, doesn't matter what time of year it is. So, you know, set your boundaries. It all kind of goes back to say no if you need to. Know your triggers, but yeah, you know, set those boundaries and hold tight to them.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Good. I think you're good at that, actually.
It's taken me a really long time. Really long time.
I think you are. I even think you were good back in the day. Okay, my next one is kind of a beauty health tip. Where did it go? Where did my thing go? So here it is. So my next is brushing. So how many people are sick around where you are right now? Are there
a ton? It's awful. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
So same here.
A ton of people are sick. Mm-hmm.
Yes, with COVID.
Yes.
And I don't know.
RSV, just a ton of respiratory. Oh, just yuck. It's yuck here. Mm-hmm.
Same here. So brushing. It is, all you do is buy this $5 brush from CVS, Rite Aid, whatever, and you do this every day in the shower for 5 to 10 minutes. And you brush your limbs up, and your legs, and your belly. All of this is stimulating circulation and your lymphatic system, which is fighting the sicknesses, the heebie-jeebies, getting it moving around. It's also gonna be great for detoxing, since we are usually eating and drinking differently during this time. So it's gonna be moving that around, expelling that as well. And also keep doing this in the summer, because this is the #1 secret for cellulite. Because cellulite really is a genetic thing, how much tissue, connective tissue, we have holding our skin to our muscles, and in between is the fat tissue. So if you have more of those connective tissue, then you're gonna have more dimpling. But if you have less, you're gonna have less dimpling. So it's a totally genetic thing. And so when you're rubbing, like, you know, wherever you get cellulite, that is moving that fat cells around. You're almost like ironing it. So you might still have a little, but it's better than any cream you're ever going to put on, and it's 5 minutes, and the brush lasts forever. So it's great all year round. I highly recommend doing that in the shower or bathtub.
Okay. All right.
I
definitely heard of it. But yeah, I mean, it makes total sense to me. Just knowing, you know, the different systems and that type of stuff, and what works to flush those out. So that's cool. Maybe I'll have to ask for one of those for Christmas.
Oh, well, I have to tell you something really funny real quick. I was visiting a friend, and I was, you know, out of the shower, and I was going like this, you know, and my friend goes, Dorothy, your hair's up here. Why are you doing that? I was like, you know, this is a beauty secret.
No, this is my other brush.
He was like, well, honestly, I was on a trip, so I was using my hairbrush, which can work as well.
I guess
so that's probably why it looks so weird. I have like my roller brush, my brush I used to roll.
Roll it up, roll it up, roll it up, roll it up.
Like, your hair's up here. Why are you brushing your leg?
Oh
So
my.
anyway, okay.
Okay. So mine kind of goes with it's something to beauty tip as well, I guess. So get enough sleep. Don't shortchange yourself on your sleep. You know, lack of sleep triggers so many things. Can trigger manic episodes if you are, if you have bipolar disorder, some hallucinations with schizophrenia. So it's just, we all know how lack of sleep totally messes with our brain. So make sure that you're giving yourself enough time to sleep and relax.
And it definitely helps with weight loss too. The sleeping does. Human growth hormone is only released at its largest quantities between the 7th and 8th hour, HGH. And that's what a lot of bodybuilders inject themselves with. That's what teenagers have going big time. That's why they're shooting up and growing so much beautiful hair and beautiful skin. And so we still produce this through our entire life. It's just not in much quantities as when we're young, growing. And so 7 to 8 hours sleep is when you get the biggest dose of that. So take advantage. Yeah, if I have to choose between getting up early to exercise or getting my 7 to 8 hours, I choose sleep. And that's like a nice way to much better than exercise. So super, it's just as important. Just as important. My last one is get creative with your drinks. So this season there is so much drinking and eating, and I've told you how to arrange your plate on every day other than the special holiday. Also, watch out for being tempted just because the lights are on or whatever when you're out and it's not a day to really have a drink. Save that for the special day. When you're having your regular food, like last night I went to a Mexican restaurant. The margarita looked delicious. Of course, the server told me about all the fancy ones. I said, no, this doesn't go with my plan, but I still want something special. So what I did was I told the server, I'm never afraid to ask. I'm paying for it. I had him use the margarita salt and then ring the glass in lemon, like they do for margarita. They got all the stuff right there. Dip it in. And sparkling water in there with ice, and then lemon, orange slice, and a lime slice. And that was my drink. So 0 calories. I feel fabulous this morning. And this is a way that I still have fun drinking a fancy drink, but it's just, it's water, it's sparkling water with a hint of lemon, lime, and orange. So be creative. Don't be afraid to ask. And I have a lot of fun ideas on my Instagram pages and Facebook, because during the summer when I went 144 days, I was doing all kinds of stuff because my mouth likes to eat, drink, do different things. And so I was coming up with all kinds of modalities of how to keep myself happy. So I have a lot of them up my sleeve. So lots of creativity over here. Okay, so let's now we're going to go to the most fun part of our program is the keep it moving mode here. If any of you know Allison and me from back in the day, but our way to say hello to each other, that was cool, was we said moo.
Moo.
And we just make our hands like this.
I can't do that anymore. I don't know. Like, I think I lost that ability.
So that was our thing, or like when we both hit us, or when she hit a home run. I never hit home runs.
Oh, stop.
I was a good pitcher. I was a base hitter.
You were a good pitcher.
We would like hand clap like moo. So that means cool, good job. Our keep it moving means no. We're not going there. So we're going to go with some things that we've heard from our audience. So who would like to go first? Do you want to go? Do you have one, Allison? Or maybe my intern has one.
Maybe your intern. See if your interns have any good ones. Because
let's put her in. I'm adding her now. Hey there.
Hello. Thank you.
Hey, Alexa.
Hi, Alexa.
Share with us. What's the situation?
You have a question or a situation?
I do. Okay, so my family, we usually go and visit my grandmother, and it's a huge family. Like everyone comes into town, and it's always since it's a big family. Everyone has their own schedule. It's a small house, so we tend to run late on everything on the schedule. Even though it's like, okay, we're having dinner at like 6, 7, which is already a little late, but Mexican style. We don't end up having dinner until maybe like 9 or 8. We're lucky if it's at 8. So yeah, we're running late, and it comes to the situation where you try to, or at least I try to, not eat as much throughout the day so I can be hungry. And it's always that hope, having that hope that, oh, this year we're gonna eat in time. Never happens. And the food is there, and you're very tempted to grab food, but everyone else is waiting. They're being respectful, and you can start feeling some tense. People getting hangry, and there's always drama before dinner. And then once everyone eats, it's like perfect, beautiful. So my question is like, I know I can eat, but like I don't want to eat that much because I really want to enjoy the main meal. So what can I do to, not be hungry and, yeah, be more patient? Not, yeah, not lose
Mhm.
my control.
Do you want to tackle this mentally, or do you want me to tackle this physically?
Well, I mean, I don't know that one doesn't. I think I don't know that you can be mentally okay without food. I mean, I really don't. You know what I mean? I think you need to have something in your body to get to that point. So I think probably your suggestion would be what my suggestion would be, Dodie.
Yes. So if you are starting to feel like hypoglycemic, so I would say that you need to have some protein and like a little mini meal. So if there's little hors d'oeuvres sitting around waiting for the main course, go ahead and have some cheese because cheese has fat and protein, and a cracker is the carbohydrate. So just like I was talking about the plate where you have like the 3 parts, so having that protein, the carbohydrate, and if you want to throw a vegetable on there too, but that's what makes a main meal, or I mean a course, like where you feel like I ate and I'm not going to be hangry. So, and that's what gives you the perfect energy to get you through till the next time you eat. So does that answer your question? Does that make sense?
It does. And also, like, they say at one time we're going to have dinner at this time. So you kind of prepare yourself to be hungry by that time. But then it happens that
Right.
later.
Right. So I think maybe for me, I would probably pre-plan, even if there aren't any hors d'oeuvres or anything out. I don't know. I always keep like almonds in my purse or just like a quick, I mean, in a pinch, like some beef jerky, even sometimes just to get a little bit of something, or those little, like you were saying, Dodie, like they do sell the little snack packs of cheese and I mean, hey, desperate times. You don't want to be rude, but if, things never go well when everybody's hungry. And then typically I would say also drink water. That always helps me to kind of curb. Oh, and pickles. I don't know. Dill pickles.
I was just gonna say, actually, the reason why is what I'm doing right here. The salt. Sometimes when we get that dizzy feeling, hangry, it's because we haven't had any sodium in our system. So they actually suggest to people that are intermittent fasting to sometimes just take a little dip of salt, and that can, and dill pickles are very high in sodium.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that is something that if I know that it's going to be a while, I typically will just grab a little dill pickle. If nothing else, I mean, I've heard crazy people drink pickle juice. I mean, for that, I don't know. I don't know if you want to go that far in your grandma's bathroom drinking pickle juice. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yes.
hey, I would pre-plan and plan on worst case scenario of it being 9 o'clock
Yeah.
and snack. Snack appropriately, I think is what you're saying, Dodie. You know, snack on things that are going to keep you going until the meal.
Yeah.
And then at the meal, if it's late at night and you're worried, it's not horrible to have protein and veggies before you go to bed. I swear when I was bodybuilding, to fit all those meals in the day, the last one is always egg whites and like spinach, or some lean, very lean protein, which turkey is, chicken is, ham is lean. So having that with veggies is actually complementary to going to sleep, as long as you don't have like digestive issues and heartburn, because protein helps your body recharge while you're sleeping. It helps you build new hormones, enzymes, skin cells. So it's building while you're sleeping. So protein's not a horrible thing to have before bed. Carbohydrates is the thing that we kind of don't want to have before bed, because that's for energy and we're going to bed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, who's got another moo or move? Well, I have a request from my audience here on if you are doing super well with not using the crutches people use in life to deal with their emotions in not a healthy way, like eating, overeating, smoking, drugs, alcohol. If you're not doing those things, and we are humans and we are around people that throws us out, what do we do? How do we deal with our emotions? How do we
because
deal
we
with
have emotions now. You know, those things kind of, you can't mask the emotions anymore. And really, honestly, and I say this in the most loving way. I worked with some folks in recovery. I've as part of my job, and you know, it's your job to regulate your emotions that you're having. So there are ways to help you self-regulate. You know, there's definitely some breathing exercises. If your emotions are really heightening your anxiety and your stress, you may have to take a time out and do some things that ground you. You know, there are some short-term therapies that you could do. One of them I do for a therapist practice here in Fort Wayne. The Safe and Sound protocol is about self-regulation and regulating those emotions so that you don't totally go, you know, into depression or whatever your normal fight or flight response is. So there are ways you can prepare yourself for those. You know, you can expect those to be emotional because you're without those things. Everything's emotional, and emotions aren't fun to feel most of the time, which is why we use food or alcohol or drugs or whatever. But unfortunately, they're part of being human. So if you have to excuse yourself and do some of those techniques that help you get through those moments, then that's perfectly fine. Absolutely fine. I would say know your triggers. Know that it's going to be a rough time. And again, if it's something that's going to be too overwhelming, you don't have to do it. If it doesn't make you feel good mentally, you know, toxic environment is not always the best. Even just because it's the holidays, I don't know, seems to amplify it a little bit more.
And I think that, like, when you make the choice that you know you should make, like, for example, me last night with my fancy sparkling water, I woke up this morning proud of myself. And when I write down my goals for the day, I also write down, good job last night. Actually, excellent job on having your salty water. So
you didn't die. You made it through. You know, nothing happened. you didn't have a drink. It's not the end of the world. You know, life goes on. Yeah. It's just about making those choices every day. Yeah. And, you know, give yourself grace. I think that is one of the things I always say. Give yourself a little grace.
I have another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're talking about the emotions. So my family also tends to give a gift to every family member. So if it's 20, everyone gets a gift.
Goodness.
Even if it's a small gift, everyone gets a gift. And now that I'm older, you know, and I work and it's, yeah, I'm independent, I feel the pressure. And do I get I'm like in the position where should I get a gift for like every family member or just my internal family or just not give a gift to anyone?
Well, I mean, personally, my family's kind of morphed over the years as kind of like this. I no longer give. I had to put a stop to it. We cannot afford that, and nor do, you know, like once my nieces and nephews turned 18, that was it. Like they don't get anything for, you know what I mean? Like that's, you know, I think it's. I don't know. I personally feel like we just give things to give things, and that's not. How about do you like to bake or something like that? Is there something you can do? You know, just a small little something handmade. I am super about making things that are used. You know, I don't want to spend money because I have so much stuff. I don't want any more stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I want my mom to get me laundry detergent for Christmas.
Or
Because
like knowing what to get to everyone, what to give to everyone. Like, that's so much pressure. Like, are they gonna like this? Are they gonna compare this to someone else because you felt more inspired with this person because you have a stronger connection with that family member, and unconsciously you just pick something.
Right. I definitely think we've been conditioned to think that we have to find that perfect magical gift for everybody. It's not possible, right? Because you don't know everybody intimately to get that on that intimate of a level, right? Like you have 20 people, you can't, you know what I mean? Like there's that. It's okay. It's okay. You know, I think if I was going to do it, if I was going to do something, I would definitely either tell them, you know, I really can't afford to do that. So I'm not gonna, you know, or maybe I'll just do a gift basket for everybody, like a fruit basket or something that everybody can enjoy at the gathering. I don't know. You know what I mean?
I think this kind of goes with the not eating when someone's forcing you to. That's their problem too. Like if someone doesn't like my gift, I'm like, it's from my heart. Like anything I give is from my heart, whether it cost a nickel or it cost $100. And so we're not on the same page, and that's just where I am, and that's how we were raised, you know? So I think that's more on them as well. Like if they can't accept that you gave them a precious apple that you love, you know, whatever. That's
well, and I think too, it's about kind of what we went back to about boundaries. If you have a set budget for your holidays, that's nobody's. That is your budget. And if it doesn't involve buying a gift for every single person in your family, then that's okay. That's okay. Boundaries. You got to stand up.
so good. And if anyone has any more questions for us, please don't hesitate to chat on this post. We're excited. We've got lots of good things going. I know personally we've got some neat boxes we're putting together for people to get healthy in the new year. All you have to do is get the box. It's like having a dietitian in a box. It's like Jack in the Box, but it's dietitian in a box. And so it's supplements and the meal plan and the exercise, and there you go.
Nice.
So, and we'll have like live Zoom calls too, where you can come in on groups like this to ask personal questions. So we've got that coming up. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Our goal is to have that out by December 16th, so you can start planning ahead. Allison, what do you got up your sleeve?
I'm still so I also do like the whole I believe that like crafting and creating and things like that is a great stress relief. So I'm doing all of that.
Good.
Just continuing on with my business doing that. And so if you're ever interested, come on over and craft with me. I use it as a stress reliever, people. It works.
That, and I think those are good gifts too. That's so fun.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yes. I do a lot of DIY crafts. So, I mean, I can put together a gift of like a DIY gift for somebody that actually likes to create, you know. Yeah, that's what I've got going on.
Well, definitely put that in the chat.
Yeah.
We are going to say goodbye for the afternoon, evening. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Alexa.
Yes.
And your questions. And we will do this every quarter. So our next one will be in the winter sometime. So you'll see us again, probably maybe birthday month for Allison in January or February. We have yet to decide, but stay tuned.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Always
bye, everybody.
be in my moo.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.